Bo family villa. A car drove up. Ye Xian Wanza stood here. It turned out to be Bo Tingshen getting out of the car. He called out to Big Brother. Bo Tingshen asked him where he was going. Grandpa asked me to pick up Jinshu from the theater. Jinshu is in Li Jiao's workplace storm. Bo Tingshen thinks of certain people when he thinks of workplace storm. As my boss, it's fine if you don't give me the resources, but you can't intentionally destroy my resources. When he thought of this, he was ready to send Ye Xian Wanza with him. On this side of the road, the sound of cars is all around. I stepped on my skateboard and mushed all the way there. Ningxiner asked the people beside her, how much longer will the traffic jam last? It's almost time for the appointment. When she heard a noise behind the car, she noticed it. She then got out of the car, intending to deal with it. Ningxiner looked at me expressionlessly. When I looked at Ningxiner, her eyes were blank and her face was flushed. She directly scolded me. Are you blind? Can't you see my car is parked here? I responded with a smile on my face. Yes, I just passed by here and saw a beautiful woman sitting in the car. I was blinded. This made Ningxiner annoyed. I think you were crazy. And skating a broken skateboard. She reached out and tried to grab the skateboard, but she didn't stand firmly and lean forward. When she didn't get the skateboard, the pretty sister was so proactive, throwing her arms around her for the first time. She was so angry that she didn't know what to say. She just stared at me. I continued to tease her. Beautiful sister so fierce will not be cute. Oh. In the end, she leaned against the side of the car and I got close to her. Just after the performance, the director shouted, stop. Good. Especially good. A line through. Oh my god. Just now the car thud. It's so dominant and cool. That skateboarding bit was super cool too. Guchan's eye scene was so spot on. Director Lee gave him a lot of close-ups. Ningxiner looked at me and praised my acting. You're great. I also praised her. You're in good shape today, and your acting is much cuter than before. He then asked me, you've seen my plays before? Of course. I watched the first 18 episodes of Workplace Style, and I mainly watched yours. She blushed sheepishly. Obviously she was already out of the drama. Why is my heart still beating so fast? The acting is really great. This drama has always been about heart and liver abuse, but I feel much more relaxed and happy when I filmed your part just now. I believe the audience's reaction will also be very strong. A girl over here, she thought to herself. Where is Goddess Jinshu's assistant? For the sake of Goddess Jinshu, I can't let Ye Xian have a good time. While passing by a branch, she almost got cut by it. A hand came out. Careful. I asked her, are you alright? She raised her head and looked at me. Walk carefully. Such a pretty face. It won't look good if it's scratched. She looked at me with a shy face. I'm fine. I'm fine. Thank you. Oh my god. Such a handsome little brother actually said I was pretty. Then I heard someone shouting, Ye Xian, it's time to get ready for the next one. Okay, right away. The girl was shocked. He was Ye Xian, the one who had entered the theater through an improper relationship and stole Goddess Jinshu's scenes. As Goddess Jinshu's assistant said, you're way. Right. A voice came from behind her. I'm Jinshu's assistant. When do you have your camera? There's a French scene in Ye Xian's filming. He doesn't know French. He only recites 123. So film it secretly and put it on the internet. The girl hesitated. Once this serious, unprofessional incident was exposed, even if Ye Xian's backstage was hard, he wouldn't be able to make it in the entertainment industry. Even if Ye Xian's background is strong, he won't be able to make it in the entertainment industry. Is Goddess Jinshu trying to block Ye Xian in this way? But just now, Ye Xian, Guchen brought Ningxiner to the ball, and when Ningxiner found out that the hero and heroine were both there and were behaving intimately, she became very jealous and wanted to go to the ball. She was jealous and wanted to make trouble. Actors in position. 3, 2, 1. Action. I told Ningxiner that if you go over there, you'll only make him more bored with you. She then asked me what I meant. Sister, I didn't expect you to be so smart but so stupid in the face of man. At this time, Bo Tingshen has arrived here on the film set. The assistant beside him said, President, that actor is good looking. He looks young. I've never seen him before. I've never seen it before. I don't know which actor it is. But just as he finished his sentence, he realized that something was wrong. Bo Tingshen said, Ye Xian. Watching me and Ningxiner's performance, the assistant's eyes widened. What? This is Ye Xian. Is this the same person? The difference between before and after is too great. Then Ningxiner and I walked towards the main actor. The male lead said, Mr. Ivan said, he is very satisfied with the cooperation with your company. He then looked at me. I heard that Mr. Gu is a high achiever who has returned from studying in France. So her French must be very good, right? Jinshu was pleased. This Ye Xian does not know French at all. Next, it's time for 1230 for to appear. Who listened to Xiaowen's assistant and took the camera. He remembered that Ye Xian helped me just now. But now I'm not right now. He has done so many excessive things in the past. I can't let him off just because of a little favor. I shook hands with Mr. Ivan, speaking fluent French. The audience was stunned by this fluent French. Ye Xian actually speaks French. Didn't the internet say he has a high school education and didn't even pass English for? Ye Xian can't speak French. Why didn't I know? And he can't dance the tango, even after hundreds of practice. They still continued to communicate in French. Jane Chu's expression became unbelievable. The director just shouted to stop. The director angrily asked her, "Jane Chu, what's wrong with you? Your expression now should be one of surprise with appreciation and admiration, not shock and anger." Jane Chu quickly apologized. "I'm sorry, director. I was lost in thought just now. What's going on? How come this good for nothing? Dead Gay looks like a different person. Not only is his heart deeper than before, his acting skills have also improved dramatically." The director continued to shout stop in 6 times. "Director Lee, Jin Shu Sr. may be tired. Why don't we take a break first?" The other staffs are not convinced. It's the 6th time, and Chen Jinshu is the problem every time. Does she think Ye Xian is stealing her limelight and sabotaging her on purpose? She thinks Ye Xian is stealing her limelight and sabotaging it on purpose. How can Ye Xian be so nice, kind and dedicated? If I hadn't come to the film set and seen this scene with my own eyes, I would never have known the truth. Hui put away her camera, and Chen Jinshu was actually such a bully and a slanderous framer. Maybe you can't see a person's true colors through the internet. I'm afraid Jinshu Chen is sick today. She's playing such a cheap trick. Do you think I'll be in bad shape after a few more delays? I was just about to leave when I was blocked by a person in front of me. I immediately spewed out the water I just drank. I'm furious. Why is Bo Tingshen here? How dare he still have the face to call me? I haven't settled the score with him after he fooled me last time in Deer Island Ting. Thinking back to earlier, I was conversing with second brother. Little Yi, you've been tricked. I didn't turn down Winston. They didn't even ask me to cooperate. What? Bo Tingshen, is he still human? How could he swindle me? He even used workplace storm as bait to force me to agree to his unequal treaty. I don't think Bo Tingshen is trying to profit from the business, but he's trying to alienate our relationship. The most taboo thing about an arranged relationship is that the young lover, and now everyone outside thinks that I'm the gold master behind you. Forcing you to agree to this unequal deal is just to make me relent so that I can abandon you. Then if you dump me, I won't be able to make it in the entertainment industry, and I won't be able to pester Jian Wanza, his beloved brother. He's too sinister. I shouted towards Bo Tingshen. Mr. Bo, you've come at the right time. Shouldn't you explain to me what happened last time? Ye Xiaowen told me that you never talked to him about cooperation, and Zero Degree never rejected Winston at all. Bo Tingshen is still looking at me expressionlessly. Oh, you believe whatever he says. When I heard this, I didn't know how to reply. He then asked me, what is your relationship with him? I nervously replied to him, there is no relationship. Then you'd rather choose to trust a stranger than your own boss. I looked at him talking in a serious manner. But Ye Xiaowen is my brother. How could he lie to me? This old fox with a deep heart fooled me again. Then I said old fox in French, and Bo Tingshen was ready to leave. The assistant turned to me and asked, Ye Xian, you were speaking French. Right. How do you know the CEO knows French? I was shocked. Bo Tingshen must have understood. He just looked at me. It's over. I'm an old fox. Trying to explain doesn't seem to work anymore. The director came over. Ye Xian, the crew is having a dinner tonight. Come along. I agreed, so I could take advantage of the dinner to get away. Perfect. Min Xiner took my hand. Great. Ye Xian, take my car and my sister will take you there with her. The director asked Bo Tingshen, Mr. Bo, it's a rare occasion that you come to visit us in person. Would you like to have a meal together? In my heart, I said, refuse. Bo Tingshen, you have to reject it. As a result, Bo Tingshen actually agreed. Yes, I was shocked. It's over. Is it too late for me to back out now? I heard him say, if everyone is going, why don't you sit over here? Why don't they all sit on this side? This side is so empty. As a result, Bo Tingshen came over and asked me to sit in it. My life is over. I sobbed uncontrollably. Jiang Wanza looked over with Jingchu. Big brother actually Saturday with Ye Xian. Was he there to warn Ye Xian not to come near me again? But it doesn't need to come out to deal with a small person like Ye Xian. Jingchu pulled him. Wanzi, let's just sit here. Jiang Wanza agreed and glanced at Ye Xian. It's so far away, but it can still smell the Bo Tingshen's expensive incense would smell. Mellow and comforting, one can't help but want to sniff it more often. Ye Xian, Hold on. Bo Tingshen pulls on his clothes and unbuttons his sleeves, took off his jacket. I looked at him. Mr. Bo's body is better than all the male actors I've ever seen. He's quite disciplined. The assistant took the clothes and looked left and right, not knowing where to put them. I stood up and asked him to give it to me. I still have room in here. If not, I can hold it. Bo Tingshen is calmly drinking tea. I'm smiling. It's my honor to hold the president's clothes. As things stand, I can only try to please the president and make him forget that I just scolded him. The assistant looked at Bo Tingshen again, wanting to ask him if he's okay with it. The president has always been a clean freak, and his personal clothes are never allowed to be touched by anyone other than his personal assistant. He sipped his tea and didn't say anything. He was silent. The assistant is also helpless. So the president, this is the default or refusal. The president's mind, too difficult to guess. Ning then walked over. Better give it to me. I have a disposable sealed bag here. The director waved his hand. Ye Xian, come sit at this table. Let me tell you about the play. There are a few things wrong with your performance today. It's too obvious that Ye Xian likes Ye Xian. Ye Xian is a Mr. Bo's man. What's she doing there? I'll grill me for a Mr. Bo. I'm a great griller. What's wrong with him? He was so angry when he saw Mr. Bo, but now he's so attentive. He's not himself today. I put the meat in front of him. Mr. Bo, this piece of meat is ready. It's 9 minutes cooked. It's the most tender. Can you try it? Bo Tingshen looked at the meat, not knowing what he was thinking. The assistant looks at the two again. Why does the president keep looking at Ye Xian's hands? Apart from being whiter and more tender, there's nothing special about it. As a result, I heard President Bo say in French, "I'm not an old fox." I responded with an embarrassed smile. Bo Tingshen is really petty and vindictive. Even if I try my best to please him, I can't turn over the mistakes I've made. No, President, don't misunderstand. I was cursing myself just now. Hearing this, Bo Tingshen said, "Oh, then you curse again? I can only curse myself in French. I'm an old fox." He closed his eyes again and let me continue. This old fox is too deceitful. Not only does he hold grudges, he is like whoever curses him a point. He will return it 1,000 times over. I stood up. President, I suddenly want to go to the washroom. Bo Tingshen stretched out his foot and blocked my way. I could only sit back down again. My mouth continued to say in French, "I'm a fool. I'm a puppy. I'm a piglet." At this time a woman came over. "Hello, Mr. Bo. I'm Luan Xiaoyao, the leading netizen of Shakala." Bo Tingshen was eating his barbecue and didn't pay any attention to her. It's worthy of being General Manager Bo. He always looks so cold to everyone. This woman sat her down smoothly. The assistant could only stay away. "So fragrant, ah." The woman smiled and asked me, "Ye Xian, did you bake all these? Can you help me to bake one too?" I agreed. This woman is too good at pretending. She had a fight with me in the dressing room today. I say, "Ye Xian, do you really have the courage to act again? Haven't you been scolded by the netizens enough?" I turned my head and said calmly, "Auntie, what do you want?" The woman immediately became anxious. "Auntie? Who are you calling auntie?" I smiled and responded, "I just became an adult today. You are almost 20 years younger. Shouldn't I call you auntie?" I looked at the meat I was roasting. The fire was too high. The meat was getting burnt. I need to turn down the fire. Where is the switch? When I squatted down, I saw Luan Xiaoyao. I saw that Luan Xiaoyao was dressed so fancy to hook up with a Mr. Bo, who is also a hypocrite on the surface. He's so cool on the surface, but is enjoying himself under the table. He seems to have noticed me. Ye Xian, pour a cup of hot water. The bottom of the table is so sexy, but a Mr. Bo can't still eat and drink without changing his face. He seems to have experienced a lot of this. I poured the hot water and brought it to him. Mr. Bo, you asked for hot water. It's a bit hot. Be careful." Bo Tingshen reached out to take it, but it didn't catch the hot water cup. The hot water spilled on the woman in red's thigh. She is lying on the ground screaming in pain. The others have also noticed. How did Luan Xiaoyao get scalded? The wound is so serious. It seems like a Mr. Bo slipped his hand. Don't panic, everyone. I've called 1-0. This is freshly boiled water, but the cup isn't hot at all. How could Bo Tingshen slip his hand? I looked at him. Luan Xiaoyao just lightly touched his trouser leg. And is that bad? Then I've hugged his leg, held his hand. I've called him an old fox. Ye Xian, you've disobeyed me 3 times. I think you're sick of living. It's over. I have to find a way to get out of Mr. Bo's clutches as soon as possible. The next day on the film set, Ning Xian brought me a glass of water. Ye Xian, if you're in bad shape, why don't you take a day off? No, I just had a nightmare last night and didn't sleep well. Just put on makeup to cover up the dark circles under your eyes. In order to make money, sign with another company as soon as possible. 4th time, action. This scene is about Chen Jingshu and Ning Xian as the top 2 winners of the Milan Design Show. The scene is about Chen Jingshu and Ningxiner is the top two winners of the Milan Design Show, wearing their own designs in the grand finale of the show. Ningxiner, unwilling to stay behind Chang Jinshu, secretly destroys Chang Jinshu's gown, trying to make it impossible for her to walk in the show, but all of them are met by Jinshu in kind. The director looked at my situation. Ye Xian is yawning today. What's going on? And what's wrong with Chang Jinshu? She didn't make any big mistakes, but her acting is a bit weak. And now the second place winner of the Milan Fashion Design Show, Ningxiner. When Ningxiner came out, I was instantly energized. I couldn't take my eyes off her as she walked down the aisle. Quick, give Ye Xian a shot. When I saw Ye Xian today, I thought it wouldn't play well, but it was a different person in the film. Ningxiner is standing here waving at everyone, only hearing a snap. The strap of the dress broke off. She immediately covered her chest and panicked, wanted to run away from here so that the reporters below would not film it, but she stepped on her dress again. She accidentally fell forward and screamed miserably. She crashed into Ye Xian's chest, and Ye Xian just happened to take the clothes. He covered her with his own clothes. They were close to each other. Don't be afraid. I'm here. I slapped the camera away again. Don't shoot at us. I'm here. No one can hurt you. Then looked at the reporters with a gloomy face. Whoever dares to film again, don't blame me, Ku Chen, for not being polite. The staff under the stage all looked dumbfounded. Little milk dog transformed into a little wolf dog. Icon, full of boyfriend power. If only I were Ningxiner. What makes Ye Xian able to sit next to General Thin and talk and laugh with him? What makes evenings look at him so often yesterday? And what makes him get everyone's praise? Women's toilet is suspended. Jinchu is here with her assistant. Hurry up and call Hui Hui. I want everyone to know Ye Xian's ugly true colors. Xiaowen then explained, Sister Jinshu. Hui Hui quit our fan group and followed Ye Xian's microblogging, saying that the wall has changed to Ye Xian. When she heard these words, Jinshu got upset. What did you say? Then she swung over with a slap and angrily scolded him again. A bunch of useless losers. It seems that we can only find the person to take action.